Good afternoon, everyone. All right, this is probably going to be my last video of the year. I haven't done much on social media in the last couple of weeks because I've been absolutely flat out with Christmas coming up. It's been madhouse. But what we got here is I'm going to run through the basic calibration or work that's been done, real piss poor work that's been done on a Triton. So it's a 4M41 Triton, 2009 model. This is in at a customer's workshop to fit an aftermarket ECU or aftermarket ECU to it. It's got a bunch of modification work done, but the factory ECU has been tuned somewhere, runs like crap, pisses black smoke out, really piss poor running condition. Now they wanted this checked over to see what's actually been done before they continue with their work. It's got EGR blank, so it's most likely had an EGR delete done, obviously. But from here, we've pulled the calibration out of the ECU, as you can see, easy KES 3, and it's an absolute cracker. So on this, reason why we've got such a rich condition and poor running is we've got massive quantity injected. Maps and limiters changes, we'll focus. So we've got everywhere from 40% up to about 120% down the lower end changes in the quantity injection maps. That goes all the way through. This is in a percentile mode, so as you can see, there's your actual changes. We've also got axis changes and a -30 amount put here, which is an attempt to run a hard cut limiter on the vehicle. That's what that is. That's why it's rolling coal at high RPM. Boost maps, now it has got a aftermarket turbo on it. Rail pressure, they're anywhere from 50-ish average percent change in rail pressure added. And then the boost maps are very similar, we're about 45% on the boost maps. So this thing is absolutely hot. And now it didn't have any bigger injectors, it didn't have any hardware stuff done on the factory vehicle when this was tuned elsewhere. It has got hardware added now, and the customer will be retuning it with aftermarket hardware. But this is what caused the initial failure, is a stock vehicle with these absolutely massive changes. And funnily enough, it was all limited by some very small changes in torque maps, but it's a pretty piss poor job. It's a huge amount of change and a huge amount of injection added, and fuel, rail pressure, duration, etc. added for a stock vehicle. So as I've said before, if you are getting your vehicle tuned, make sure you go somewhere that actually knows what they're looking at. Get quality, don't just go to someone who doesn't actually know what they're doing, and don't go looking for massive high dyno numbers with no quality behind it, because just because you get 2 or 3 runs, real high numbers and a nice printout, does not mean that your car is going to be safe and reliable. And I don't know where this is done. I'm sure we'll be able to find out, but we're not going to go down that route anyway. But it's just a good example of what can happen. You know, this sort of stuff is suited to a very highly modified vehicle, high-fly turbo, plus 30 nozzles, injectors, etc. Cooler, blah blah blah. But it's a good example of what can happen on a stock vehicle and what will cause your stock vehicle to fail, and also what gives tuning a bad name, performance tuning, things like that, because these are the horror stories that you hear about with any kind of performance stuff, tuning stuff. This sort of stuff will cause it on a stock vehicle. So if you are going to get your vehicle tuned, especially coming up to Christmas, everyone wants to go away, everyone wants performance work done. Do your research first on who's doing it, get an idea of what is actually happening to the vehicle and what's changing on your vehicle. And that, I hope everyone has a good Chrissy. We are closed for 2 weeks, so we'll be back early Jan. We are booked out for most of Jan already, but if you have any questions, anything ECU repair, tuning wise or whatever, just message it through. I'll do my best to get back to you before then, and we'll get as much work as we've done when we are back, but we will be closed for a couple of weeks. Any inquiries in between, they can be texted through to the shop number as normal, and we will respond when we can. So have a good Christmas, everyone, and thank you.